Each year, 50 of the most innovative and promising startups in the Paris-Saclay Innovation Playground ecosystem are showcased at Paris-Saclay Spring, and amongst these 50 startups, 30 compete in the Spring 50 Startup Challenge. It's a pitch contest that highlights 5 promising startups in 6 different categories. Newspace, of course, and we just discussed that, but also mobility, digital technology, green tech, food tech, and health and biotech. Each category has its own jury, but the rules are the same for everyone. Each startup will have 3 minutes and not a second more to convince the members of the jury that it's the winner in its category. And at the end of the day, 1 startup per category will be awarded. There's a check, and there's a lot of visibility involved. That's quite an important moment for all of our startups. And to kick off this day-long competition, here is our very first contestant. He's a graduate from HEC and Centrale Supélec. He's actually already right here behind me. He has an 18-year experience as an aerospace executive in international business development. He's here to democratize R&D in space. To do that, he's supported by Incub'Alliance, the Ski Club, and the European Spatial Agency Business Incubation Center. That's a lot of things to say in a sentence. And he's here to tell you everything about ASTROLAB. This is the CEO of ASTROLAB, Emeric LHOMME. Emeric, you have 3 minutes, and they're about to start in... Wait a second. We have a very special moment. It's about to start in 3, 2, 1. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Very, very glad to be back at HEC. It's been 20 years for me. Do you know what astronauts do on the International Space Station? Besides playing David Bowie on the guitar, they do amazing research. And that's ASTROLAB's mission, to democratize and to revolutionize research in microgravity. In the absence of gravity creates a unique environment for research. It means unique discoveries. We can advance medical research against cancer, against degenerative disease. We can grow human tissues for transplants. The possibilities are endless. But the International Space Station will be deorbited in 2030, and Europe has no backup. That's why we are developing the first robotic laboratory station. It's a compact station in low Earth orbit without astronauts. It's equipped with an automated laboratory, so researchers can control the experiments from the ground. And it's resupplied in orbit with a fully robotic system. What we sell is access to our laboratory, to pharma, biotech, public researchers. You may not be aware, but there is a new space race ongoing. It's a race to develop commercial services in orbit, and this is the next space revolution. Jeff Bezos is building a private station, a huge one, with astronauts on board, and he is not the only one. But ASTROLAB, thanks to full robotization, is the most cost-efficient and sustainable in terms of carbon emissions. We have an incremental roadmap until 2029 with 2 MVPs, the mini lab and the mini station. It enables us to de-risk our critical technologies and to progressively deploy our commercial service. We are not just 2 guys building a space station in a garage. We have 40 years of experience in aerospace. And I'm lucky to have one of the best space engineers as a co-founder, Mathieu. And it's really, really cool to have an actual rocket scientist as a CTO. We look for bold investors, partners, researchers willing to help us make it happen. Imagine the amazing discoveries researchers will make on our labs. And imagine that one of these discoveries lead to a Nobel Prize. Yes, we dream big, so dream with us and join us to transform the world.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's 3 minutes, okay. might be 3 minutes and 5 seconds. It was pretty cool, so I couldn't stop him. Our second contestant's mission is to enable the next generation of space infrastructure. This project is supported by Incube Alliance, Le Playground Paris-Saclay, LPGP University Paris-Saclay, La French Tech Paris-Saclay, and the European Spatial Agency Business Incubation Center. Guillaume MOHARA, you are the Space Quarters CEO, and you now have 3 minutes to convince the jury. And the 3 minutes start in 3, 2, 1.
Right, hi everyone. My name is Guillaume MOHARA, and I'm the president of Space Quarters. If you had to design a large system today, would you restrict yourself to how you're going to transport it to the end user, or would you rather focus on maximizing its value for your customer? Well, today, all space systems are designed for the launch phase, which, according to Airbus, adds up to 30% of mass and makes any large-scale infrastructure impossible, let alone scalable. And Space Quarters aims to change this. Our mission at Space Quarters is to revolutionize space infrastructure by providing in-space assembly solutions. This allows our customers to focus on improving cost and performance of their products. Our primary target market is the telecommunication satellite market. Once we've demonstrated our technology there, we aim to expand to more emerging ones, including inspection and maintenance, but also longer-term commercial space stations, as well as cislunar infrastructure projects. We, as Space Quarters, do not aim to become neither a prime contractor nor a space system end user. Instead, we aim to become the #1 technology company for in-space assembly, providing our products and services for all space structure projects. Today, Space Quarters is a European project evolving in a strong ecosystem of both academic and industrial partners. Our strength is a combination of both first principles thinking as well as efficient utilization of this ecosystem around us. The innovation that allows us to do all this is based on 2 core technologies. The first one is an industrial welding unit and welding process, which is adapted to the space environment. The second one is a mobility system that is dedicated to the task of on-orbit assembly, which drastically improves both mass and tolerance achieved. Today, we've already redesigned our space welding unit and are preparing for our first vacuum welding tests in September of this year, in 2 months. We've also confirmed with a potential customer that we meet their KPI for on-orbit assembly of a large COMSAT antenna reflector. So if, like us, you want to have a major impact on the next generation of space infrastructure, then come and join us. We're looking for passionate engineers and business developers, but also financial partners. Thank you.
And all of that just in time. Newspace does not necessarily mean letting go of our planet. In fact, our next contestant specializes in the fight against environmental damage and climate change. Its CEO is a graduate from l'École Normale Supérieure et l'Université Paris-Saclay. The project is part of the BLAST acceleration program and is supported by Incube Alliance and ONERA. Here is DISAITEK CEO, Anthony Graveline. Anthony, you have 3 minutes that are about to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everybody, my name is Anthony Graveline. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of DISAITEK. DISAITEK is on a mission to fight against environmental damage and climate change. You know, there is an increasing pressure regarding environment coming from funds, insurers, public authorities. We are seeing environmental laws being strengthened at a pace never witnessed before. This exposed companies to financial and marketing ban, reputational damage, and also high penalties. And the problem is that companies do not have the appropriate tool to assess their standard against environmental requirements and to track their progress towards achieving compliance. So at DISAITEK, we unlock the problem and perform the market by providing a platform which measures companies' environmental compliance using Earth observation from space, artificial intelligence, and open source intelligence. And with our platform, we can measure compliance at scale, all operating sites over the world, quickly, under a week, cost-effectively, and with reliable and certifiable methodologies. We are participating in the huge market of environmental compliance and due diligence. So we offer subscription-based model to funds for their due diligence process, to corporate for law enforcement, and to authorities for corporate for compliance, and to authorities for law enforcement. So the team is mainly composed of PhD who are really concerned by building concrete application for the problem of our centuries. What makes us unique? We come from the space observation. We have built the world's first deep learning technology to detect a new kind of exoplanet. This work is used by ESA. Since we have decided to focus on Earth observation to solve environmental issues, and we have built a new world first, we have developed a platform that automates the detection and the monitoring of illegal dumpings as small as 5 square meters and illegal landfills with very high resolution imagery. And we have several paid customers on that. And we've just signed a major deal. We are monitoring the progress and the environmental impact of the largest civil engineering work of the decade in Europe that will save 5 million trucks a year from our roads. And we are also developing solutions for methane emission measurement and also the huge market of carbon offset monitoring. So this is an illustration of our waste pollution platform. And to conclude, we are looking for fund partners to invest 1.5 million euros in the following context. There is an upcoming pre-seed money of 200,000 euros with the hiring of a VP Sales International that will become a shareholder. And we target to reach 70 million euro in 2027. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. I can't really interrupt them when they say they need a lot of money. That's actually what they're here for. This new space age was brought forward by a massive change in launch pricing, the miniaturization of satellites, and our ever-growing need for connectivity. And the next contestant aims to provide universal access to performance, sustainable and affordable internet. The project is called Constellation Global. It's supported by the Ski Club, Incub'Alliance, ASTROLAB, the European Spatial Agency Business Incubation Center, and the OVH Cloud Startup Program. And it's led by Charles DELFIEUX. Charles, you have 3 minutes. They're about to start in 3, 2, 1. You're up.
All right. So we are experiencing what very few generations have experienced in history, an industrial revolution, the shift toward a digital society. And in this digital society, which is now becoming ours, our daily life depends on each day a little bit more on our access to internet. And here we have a challenge, because think about telecom and mobility operator. On one hand, they face that massive demand from their user to access connectivity. But on the other hand, they cannot rely exclusively on terrestrial telecommunication network. To address this need from telecom and mobility operator, our startup is developing the most competitive broadband constellation of telecommunication satellites. So you may wonder, how do we achieve this ambitious promise within a very competitive landscape? Well, our project relies on 2 disruptive innovations. Firstly, a very unique multi-orbit architecture combining 2 layers of satellite being deployed at very low Earth and medium Earth orbit. And secondly, we leverage fully the 5G millimeter wave spectrum and ecosystem inherited from terrestrial telecommunication network. So you know, what we do is simple in principle, right? A space infrastructure to deliver internet anywhere on the globe. Well, That's simple in principle, but that's really hard to execute with multiple barriers because you need to know your market, manage large program, and master key technologies required by such a sophisticated system. You will find all the required skills within our team. The deployment of the Constellation will span through the end of the decade, and by then, we want to be a global leader for the provision of high-speed, low-latency internet from space. All of that through a highly profitable Constellation. But before we can do that, we must first de-risk the project and demonstrate end-to-end our concept. We are currently busy doing that as part of our in-orbit demonstration program. This program is made up of 3 phases. The first phase that we are currently executing successfully as per our schedule. A second phase for which we aim at raising 6 million euros of seed funding to achieve key milestones to carry out in-orbit early test by end of 2024 and in-orbit end-to-end concept demonstration by end of 2025. If you want to hear more about this ambitious and disruptive project to enable global connectivity from space, please join us at our stand. We'll be more than happy to engage further with you on this venture. Thank you for your great attention.
Thank you very much. And the last contestant in this category is a spin-off of the Center for Nanoscience and Nanotechnology. It's a joint research unit between the French National Center for Scientific Research and l'Université Paris-Saclay. It's a member of the ASTROLAB Aerospace Cluster. It was launched in 2021. It's named ION-X, and it provides electric propulsion solutions for small satellites. Here to tell you everything about that in just 3 minutes is its CEO, Thomas HIRIART. Thomas, you have 3 minutes that are about to start. We have a countdown like an old rocket propulsion system. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning. Today, we all use satellite data either to locate a good restaurant or to check weather forecasts. But let me ask you one question. Was it the one subsystem responsible for keeping the satellites in orbit? It's its propulsion system. At ION-X, we have the ambition to develop the most advanced and the most efficient propulsion system ever put in space. My name is Thomas. I am the CEO of the company. It was founded 2 years ago by Jacques and Yves, respectively from CNRS and the startup studio TechnoFounders. Jacques is the world leader in ion sources and the father of our technology, and Yves has been building deep tech ventures for the past 10 years. The current problem that we are trying to solve is the following. Today, if you look at propulsion systems on the market, there is none that is compact, efficient, powerful, scalable, and with production costs compatible with mass deployment. This is the problem we are trying to solve by developing our thruster. Why does that matter? Well, if you develop such a system, you will have the opportunity to fight satellite obsolescence because they can stay longer in orbit. You will fight against debris because the satellite will have the opportunity to move and avoid those debris. So that's the first point. The second point is I do believe as a CEO there is a nice business opportunity to build a profitable business on a high margin market that is growing 2 digits per year and that is today estimated between 1 and 2 billion euros. What do we do exactly? Well, as I said, we are developing the next generation of satellite propulsion system. It's based on 10 years of research at CNRS, and it's based on patented electrospray technology. The way it works is relatively simple. We basically pull on an ionic liquid using a very dense electric field, therefore ejecting charged particles at super high speed. The product you see here on the page is not only a prototype, it's work in our vacuum chambers, and we are testing it on a weekly basis, and you basically have the pictures of those tests on the page as well. If you're looking at our master timeline, and that's what you see here on the page, there are a couple of points I'd like you to remember. The first point is we are not bootstrapping that technology alone in our garage. We've been backed by very serious partners along the years. They want the technology to work, and they want return on investment. So that's the first point. The second point is that we will be flying that new technology middle of next year. We already announced our first flight with EnduroSat on board SpaceX. We will be announcing 2 other missions in the coming weeks with French and European partners. And last but not least, we will be looking for a Series A investment in Q1 next year. We're looking for 10 to 15 million investments. TechnoFounders and Expansion, our historical shareholders, will most likely be on board, but we are looking for additional funds to help us grow and join the party. That's all I have today. If you have any technical questions or business questions related to what we do, we have a booth here. We'll be happy to discuss further and answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.